So this is some more information. Please remember, just now from the long formula, from the a plus b to power of n, and then so on, equals to n0, a to power of n minus 0, and so on. From there, we could determine that our tr plus 1 is actually equals to nr, and then times with a to the power of n minus r times with b to the power of r. Okay, so this one came from our first formula and won't be given in your list of formula in exam, but then it was there in the formula of positive integer, but you are the one who should identify that by yourself. Okay, so regarding this general term, look into this example 13. So we have to find the T10 as well as term independent of x. Okay, so let us look one by one. What are they? So 10 term in the expansion of x squared minus x to the power of 12. Please don't forget to list out all the information that you have. Okay, so we need to find T10. We are given to us that our a is x squared, our b is negative x, as well as our n is 12. Okay, so just now we have the general formula, which is, again recap, tr plus 1 is basically nr of a to the power of n minus r, while b to the power of r. Okay, so utilize this formula. If you want to have T10, so compare with tr plus 1, hence our r should be 9, isn't it? Okay, so when our r is 9, our T10 as the subject, we would have 12 given to you, then 9 is r now, so our a is x squared, again to power of, please be careful, it's supposed to be 3 over there, and then our our b is negative x with the power of 9. So finding your 12c9, that should be 220 of x to the power of 6. Okay, please remember your indices rules, and then negative would be brought in front, then you should have x to the power of 9. But then both have the same base, which is x, so compile them together, you would have final answer as negative 220 x to the power of 15. Okay, so that should be your 10th term. Okay, what does it mean by term independent of x? So independent means it shouldn't involve any of those things mentioned, right? So this one is independent of x, meaning that it would have no x. Okay, so meaning x should have the power of 0. What can we ponder about this is, we should look up from here, list down first what is our a. So a is 2x cubed, our b is negative 1 over x, and then eventually our n is 12. Okay, and then please list down also what is your tr plus 1. Substitute into the formula. We would have 12r, which we don't know what our r is, and then our a now is 2x cubed, right? But then we know that this should follow through this formula here, so that should be 12 minus r followed with negative 1 over x to the power of r. Okay, so simplify all the things that you know so far, but then you don't know what r is, right? So just let it be. Now you can isolate them. which would be 2 to the power of 12 minus r, and then x would be combined with 36 minus with 3r, because you will just multiply them in. Okay, and then what happened to negative 1? Okay, negative 1 also you can isolate them, so it should be negative 1 to the power of r, and then we would have x to the power of negative r. Okay, agree, because we brought x to the top already, so that should be x to the power of negative 1, but eventually we multiply them that with r. Okay, so anything without x, brought it in front, so it should be 12r. 2 now is to the power of 12 minus r, with negative 1 now also to the power of r, and then combining all the base x together, we should have x to the power of 36 with minus 4r. Okay, since we already agreed that our independent term here should be x to the power of 0, okay, so by right, this one here, 36 minus 4r, should have power of 0, isn't it? So 36 now minus 4r can be equate to 0. So 36 is equals to 4r, so eventually our r is 9. Okay, so again we actually looking for T10, right? Substitute 9 over here. So when T10 and your r is already known, so substitute into your formula, that should be 12, 9. 2 also got power of 12 minus 9, as well as negative 1 got power of 9. Okay, but then x is 0 straight away, because we know that we don't want x, so x must be have the power of 0. So just calculate using your calculator. We would have 220 again, so 220 times with 8, also times with negative 1. So basically the final answer should be negative 1760, okay, without x. That's why we call it as the term independent of x. Okay, so that should be our final answer. It will be the same. Okay, so last but not least, please do your lecture extra questions and submit to your respective Google Classroom. Okay, so stay tuned guys. Bye bye.